Harry and Meghan have had their second child born on Friday. We got the announcement on Sunday evening. So the baby is called Lilibet Diana Mountbatten Windsor. Lilibet is in honour of the Queen because that was her childhood nickname. Diana, of course, needs no explanation. That's the name of the late Princess of Wales, Harry's mother. And Mountbatten Windsor is the family surname. Well, the name Lilibet was given to the Queen as a child because she couldn't say her name Elizabeth. So almost in honour of that, her grandfather, George V, referred to her as Lilibet. And then that just stuck, and her parents and her sister, and indeed subsequently her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh, all referred to her personally as Lilibet throughout her life. In naming the child Lilibet, it very much does seem to be an olive branch, and it seems to be Harry and Meghan's way of communicating that they do still want to keep their royal ties, even if they have been somewhat broken in recent weeks and months. However, there has been a degree of procrastination on social media and elsewhere about whether it's fitting for the couple to use the name Lilibet, which is such a kind of intimate reference to the Queen, when many see them having spent recent weeks and months sort of trashing the institution that she represents. Now, throughout all of this, HM has very much insisted that they remain much loved members of the royal family, and on a personal level, of course, there's nothing wrong with this tribute. In fact, it's really touching because as she prepares to celebrate her Platinum Jubilee next year, and in light of Prince Philip's death, the idea of reincarnating, if you like, the name Lilibet for the future is obviously really, really quite sweet. I'm sure the Queen's absolutely delighted with the idea of her pet name being reused by the next generation. I think she'll be really touched. Equally, I think the tribute to Diana was to be expected and certainly be warmly welcomed by the Spencer side of the family, who obviously want Diana's legacy to continue. We don't know whether the Queen knew about the name, although it seems likely that Harry would have discussed it with her in advance, not least because the sex of the baby was already well known. Well, I think it works to a certain extent in extending an olive branch. I think anyone that's had or experienced family conflict can confirm that sometimes the arrival of a new baby is the kind of event that can bring people together. Having said that, I think the strongest olive branch really will be for the Sussexes to come over and visit the Queen and introduce her to her new great-grandchild. I think it was November 2019 that would have been the last time that the Queen saw Archie. He's grown a great deal since then. You know, he was once a babe in arms and now he's a toddler. And equally, I suppose at 95, there's only a limited amount of time left for the Queen to spend with her great-grandchildren, so there'll be this sense of urgency of trying to see them again. Also, what the couple have managed to do here is kind of combine old and new, because Lilibet in full perhaps isn't the most 2021 name, although it's very, very sweet. But the idea that they're then going to shorten that to Lily sort of represents the best of both worlds, in the sense that Lily is a very popular name with girls of this generation. Also, Lily, I believe, means purity and innocence, so it's obviously the perfect name for a young baby.